Let's be honest for a second. Apex is dying. It's not looking good. The player base is quickly dwindling. The ranked population is in shambles with hundreds of thousands of underserving masters after the recent rank changes, and the views and the interest in Apex is in a rapid decline, hitting the normal, interest going down trend months earlier than expected. Every single content creator is putting out negative tweets and negative doomer content criticizing any and all of the changes that we have been seeing, and it's a lot. It's becoming a lot. So today I figured we'd just kind of talk about the future of Apex with a little huff of hopium, going off some of the rumors that I've heard in the last few weeks that could be exactly what Apex needs. And as with all hopium, keep in mind that we are looking at some heavy speculation and we are going to be connecting some dots. Of course, these sources are generally reliable, but there has been times when leaks have been wrong on some occasions, so don't consider this objective, factual news. And in a lot of these cases, if any of these features, changes, or whatever are coming, they don't have to be on their way in the next upcoming patch, or let alone the next season. It is just as likely that we won't see any of these patches until several seasons from now. And I think that's enough of a disclaimer as any, so let's just start off the video with what's happening with Ranked. Because as you all know, Ranked isn't really in a good state right now. The first obvious symptom or problem is that obviously there are way more masters than it should be, but on top of that there are plenty of other issues that are ruining the enjoyment of anyone playing Ranked.
Where's me? Lifeline use! Where's Lifeline?
The matchmaking seems really off and seems to pin low-rated players as low as gold or maybe even lower against full Predator Pro stacks, and the low entry cost and the way the LP system is set up makes it feel like you need to rat. And it leads to most squads, well, ratting. And most importantly, there is currently an ongoing, what we assume to be a bug, where it simply just doesn't count your kill points. It's safe to say that Ranked is not doing very well, and according to sources, and this is a bit of a I know a guy who knows a guy situation, behind the scenes, Respawn is currently scrambling to make this work, and according to J Miles, they are internally going insane, and it comes off like they don't really know what to do. What we do know is that it's safe to say that there are too many masters, and since Respawn has said that they aren't going to do a ranked split, not that it would fix anything at this point, it's definitely too far gone by now. They don't really know what to do to fix the problem. With the way Respawn has set everything up, if they don't want to go back on their word, they are forced to wait out another few months until the new season drops to make some serious ranked changes. And okay, so I know you guys watching are probably thinking I'm being super doomer, super negative, and yeah, sorry about all the doom and gloom in my supposed hopium video, but I believe this is some crucial context so we can actually get to the hopium part. I think Respawn being in this panicked frenzy is a good thing. Obviously, it's probably not that good for them, and it's definitely not good for me as a content creator. I notice the views are down. But for most players, this might be what we've all been waiting for, because the worse of a state that Apex is in, the more desperate solutions Respawn or EA or whoever's calling the shots will do just to keep the ship afloat. And if they get really desperate, we might start seeing some changes that actually might turn the ship around. Changes that might make ranked playable, changes that might revitalize most players' interest in the game. Now, obviously this will refer to ranked, but who knows? Maybe if things get bad enough, Respawn or whoever, let's just call them the Apex Illuminati at this point, will put more time and resources into solving many of the issues that people have, like audio, matchmaking, smurfs, cheaters, whatever has been sinking the game to the point it is right now, and actually fix them, assuming this is a resource or time problem. My point is, we might see some of the more radical ideas starting to take hold in the future iterations of Apex. As for Ranked, the largest change I would like to see is something that I've mentioned so many times by now, and honestly still stand by it. It's making Ranked solo queue only. Maybe it needs to be past a certain point, like let's have Ranked be solo queue over Master or Diamond. And while this wouldn't fix the issues with, a low entry cost or all of the hundreds of issues that were introduced with the Season 17 Ranked, at the very least this will fix one of the largest pests on Apex's ranked system, namely the stacks and pro stacks in particular. Somehow, it's one of the few games where full pro teams are stacking and trying really hard, and it isn't frowned on by the community. I mean, when I played Overwatch, any full pro team, let alone Challenger Circuit or above, playing as a full stack in Ranked would immediately be ostracized and laughed out of the scene. These stacks are just so much better than the rest of the ranked population that at this point, I mean, obviously even before Season 17, they've practically just been pub stomping. And I think if Apex Illuminati are open to really radical ideas because we need some really big changes, then hey, why not give this a try? Also, just a quick shout out, I do have a lot of really radical ideas for Ranked that I believe will make it a lot better. And it's in a video that's in the works, so if you guys are interested in more of that, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. But anyways, call to action aside, it's widely known that things need to get a lot worse in order for them to get better. And when it comes to these large gaming companies, sometimes all that you need is a little bit of controversy or the risk of losing your player base to really get things moving. I guess it's almost like an abusive relationship in a way. It's easy to get complacent when things are going, and you might stick through the same complacency as things are starting to fall apart. And sometimes it requires hitting rock bottom for that real change to start. And keep in mind, if you look at the Steam player charts, you can definitely see that the amount of players has been going down lately. But if you zoom out, you can see that, wow, for the last 3 years, Apex has been on a rapid increase. Dare I say that it has been blowing up? Odds are, while there may have been some attempts to correct the ship, Apex is miles away from hitting the rock bottom, so maybe we just have to hold on until that happens. But yeah, obviously I don't have the numbers for the ranked population, and it's likely that ranked is already nearing that rock bottom at an alarming rate. And if that will give us some massive improvements to ranked as we know it, that would be pretty cool. Another thing that I've heard some whispers about is something that I've been talking about a lot on the channel, but in more of a I don't think this will ever happen in 100 years sort of deal. And that is any type of solos LTM. In the end of May this year, Ford and Smash made a tweet confirming that Rumble is a real thing and it is on the horizon. For those who don't know what Rumble is, don't feel bad because before doing the research for this video, I also had no idea. Supposedly Rumble is this cool event where everything's supposed to be randomized, from PvE encounters with wildlife to the map itself. In addition to that, each legend's abilities will be inaccessible through the normal means, meaning that no matter what you play, you will be on the same playing field, unless you're playing something like Lifeline or Wraith, in which your tiny hitbox does give you a bit of a leg up anyways. And another leak also told us that in addition to abilities not being available, there will be consumables that give you a bit of an ability after all. There will be a stim, which increases your speed and health regeneration, but it also increases damage taken and temporarily blurs your vision. There is the cloak, which makes players invisible for a time and also silences footsteps and gunfire. There's the EMP, which disables enemy electronics and shields, but damages the player who detonates it while also revealing their location. There is Berserk, which increases melee damage and knockback distance, but decreases weapon accuracy and range. And there is of course Swap, which allows players to swap their location and loadout with an enemy, though obviously said enemy will immediately know your location and what kind of gear you have. And that is all really cool and all, but the main point of me bringing up Rumble Royale wasn't all the cool features. It is that this new game mode is not only really cool with all these random features, but it's supposed to be solo, without any teammates at all, which is the first time Respawn has brought us a solos event since August 2019. Despite having gone on record that it's unlikely that they will bring back any solo modes as it hurts new player retention. And I can't help to think that the main reason we are seeing this mode in the works is in part because Respawn wants to give the idea of a solos mode another try, either since they realized that, hey, it's been 4 years since we did this, or maybe because they've been getting desperate for content, and they can see that there are rough times on the horizon. And either way, we won't actually know their exact reason for developing the Rumble Royale mode, but what we do know is that bringing this long-awaited feature back may be a huge W for Apex in general. Either it works and is really popular and we start seeing a lot more solo game modes, or it just doesn't and, I mean, it sucks, but at least we tried, right? We'll know for sure. And of course, speaking of solo game modes and LTMs, I have so many opinions when it comes to these, so if you are interested in hearing more about solo game modes or solos in general, check out the video on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.